Hello, my name is Vincent, and today we will be doing a tutorial on the practice part modeling, part number, I guess, 231204, the space plate by Too Tall Toby. We'll be doing it in Alibre. And yeah, this will be a tutorial on how I arrived at the solution. But a bit of a disclaimer, I'm not a professional 3D modeler. I only got into it because of 3D printing, and I'm using Alibre. There's not a lot of Alibre content, so just putting some out there as well to hopefully help anyone who's getting started with Alibre. And any Alibre experts out there, watch this video. If there are any tips and tricks you can give me, please do so. I'm still learning. But yeah, so let's get started. So kind of when I was going through this exercise, let's see. When I was going through this exercise, let's take a look at this. The approach that I was looking at is that this part doesn't actually look very difficult. It looks like there's a, from the right, I'm looking at the right diagram over here. Looks like there's a base that I just need to create. I then just need to create off of the, after I extrude the base, it seems like there's a centerpiece that I just need to extrude and kind of slowly build. After that, I can build something around the cylinders around the edges, and then because it's kind of patterned around the center, I can then use the circular pattern to build the remaining two, and that's kind of that. So that was the strategy, and it seemed to work. So let's just go with that. So going with the Libre. Oh, let me minimize that. Okay, going with the Libre. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start by creating a sketch on the ZX plane. And then from there, I'm going to create a circle. And it says from the drawing, the diameter of the circle is 192. So I'm going to dimension it to 192. Deactivate the sketch. And now I can extrude it to the height of 12 millimeters. From there, I will create that center piece, like I said. So I'm going to create a sketch on the top of this face. Here, I need to create another circle from the middle, and here it says that the diameter of the circle is 70. But also, there's this piece that sticks out from it, so I'm going to draw that in as well. So to do that, I'm just going to simply use the line tool, and I'm going to hopefully be able to draw a box. And from there, it says that the edge of that piece that sticks out is 75 millimeters away from the center. So I'm going to put that dimension in. To remove some more degrees of freedom, I'm going to add a symmetry constraint along this horizontal axis between these two edges. And then the last dimension I need to put in is that the kind of width of this is 40. So now that's fully constrained, but there's these extra bits from the circle here. So I'm just going to trim away those extra arcs, and then that's done. From here, I can extrude that, and it says the height, including the base, is 70. So I'm just going to do 70 minus the height of the base, which is 12, and that'll get us the height that we want. Next, I'm going to draw the next circle on top of this face over here. I'm going to draw a circle, and from the drawing, it says the diameter is 50, so I'm going to put in 50, and that should be all I need. So I'm going to deactivate the sketch. I'm then going to extrude, and it says from the diagram the height is 99, but we know that we're already at 70, so based off of the previous extrude, so 99 minus 70 is the amount that we need to extrude, and that should give us the right height. Now the last part is the hole through all, but I'll do that at the very end. So I'm going to work on this side now. So I'll work on the features on here now. So let's create a sketch on this face. Now from the diagram, it says there's a 15-degree, I guess like a slope or a cut into this feature. So in order to do that, I need to project this face in order to reference it, maintain association. I'm going to use the bottom left corner to draw a line and make sure that it's all coincident with the parts, with this piece. In order to dimension in that 15 degrees, I'm going to click on this line and then click on the center, let's see, this axis over here, and add that 15 degrees slope. This line is now fully defined, but the sketch is not done yet because I need to make sure it's enclosed. So I'm going to draw two more lines to make this to finish off this triangle. I'm done with the sketch. I'm going to deactivate it, and then I'm going to do an extrude cut through all. Perfect. Now it says that over here, this edge, there's the fillet of 18. So I'm just grab fillet up here, click on the edge. I'm going to add 18, click apply, and that's done. Working on this face again, there's a hole. So I'm going to reference the center of that fillet by projecting this onto, so creating a sketch on this face and then projecting the geometry onto the sketch. Here's the center of that fillet that we just created. So I'm going to use that to create the hole. And it says that the diameter of the hole is 20, and it says through all. So I'm going to dimension it to 20. That I'm done with my sketch. I'm going to deactivate my sketch, extrude, cut, and then through all. And that is looking good. Now I'm gonna work on the bottom, the circular parts around the bottom. And technically, I guess you could work on any. You can start off with any of them, and then just do a circular pattern of 3. But there is one that lies on this axis over here, this horizontal axis. So I'm going to use that as part of the diagram. There's also gives you a reference circle in which this part is coincident to. So I'm going to use that as well. So first I'm going to create that reference circle. So from the center, I'm going to create the circle, and it says the reference circle is of a diameter 210. So I'm going to dimension that in. Right click this, convert this to a reference figure. I'm going to then create another circle, and it says that the diameter of these pieces are 30. I need to make sure that this circle is coincident to this reference figure. So I'm just going to use the coincidence constraint. Click on that, and then click on this reference circle. Now it also needs to be coincident to this axis. So I'm going to use the coincident constraint again, click on that, and then click on this axis if it lets me. Oh, no, wait. Click on this, click on that axis, and now it's fully defined. Now, before I extrude, there's also this 15 millimeter wide rib that we can put in. So that's what I'm going to do as well. So again, similar. I'm just going to draw a box. I'm going to make this box so that it just touches the center of the model. Draw that. That's fine. I'm going to use an equal constraint, or actually not an equal. I'm going to use a symmetry constraint along this axis, and I'm going to select these 2 edges to make it symmetric. And then the rib is 15, so I'm going to dimension this to dimension this line. It says it's done already. Why is it doing that? Oh, I guess it's because there's this weird constraint over here. Wait, what's it? 1 second. What happened here? Why is it like that? I guess it, when I did the symmetry, did something weird. Let me try again. Symmetry along these 2, along that. This should still be movable. Yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna, so I'm gonna make one of these points coincident to this axis. So, and that fully defined it. Why does it full? Oh, is it because this edge got drawn onto the circle? Wait, let me see. Let me see what's happening here. I think, can this move? Oh yeah, so like that's not what I want. I don't want it to be stuck to this point on the circle. So I'm going to just, I think I hold control, and then I can remove and start moving it. Let's see. How do I, okay, there we go. Okay. So let's do that again. Why can't I? Oh, there is this tangent constraint. Can I delete that? Okay, does that work now? Okay, perfect. All right, a little bit of a sidetrack, but I'm gonna dimension this to be coincident to the circle, which is fine. I'm gonna dimension this to be coincident to the axis, which is fine. Okay, there we go. It's not fully constrained yet. Because I want to dimension the width of that rib to be 15. Now it's fully constrained. That is what we want. But there's these 2 extra arcs over here, so we're gonna trim that out, and that should be it. So deactivate. Perfect. I'm going to extrude that now. It says from the diagram, it says the height of 22. So extrude 22, set it to reverse. Okay. Now I guess the tricky bit is doing this fillet over here, or this arc over here, because initially what I tried to do is to do a fillet just on this edge and add 44 as per the diagram. But notice that it's slightly off because on the diagram, and this, I guess this arc is so much lower, like down here. Whereas this one, just adding a fillet on the edge goes all the way up, and that is incorrect. The diagram, so let me see if I can switch to, nope, the diagram over here. Actually, let me see, show what I'm talking about. This diagram has this tricky part over here. It says that there's this 75 millimeter distance between I guess the start of the arc. So that's the piece that's missing if we just fill it on this edge. So we need to create this arc ourselves. So that's what we'll do now. So going back to that, let me see. So going back to Alibre, I'm going to go and create a sketch along this plane or this face. And in order to dimension that 75, I will need to reference this middle geometry and this rib that we're creating. So maintain association. And here, let's just create an arc, and then we'll dimension that arc onto this, onto the sketch. So the arc, the center is going to be over here somewhere. It's going to start on this line, and then it's going to end up touching or aligned over here. So here, I guess let's first dimension the 44 that the radius of 44 that we need, and then we can dimension this from the center to this part is 75. And then I guess what we need in order for it to touch this part is to make this point vertical with this part. So I'm going to do a vertical constraint of that point and the point on our arc. What else do we need? What else can move? Anything else move? Oh yeah, I can move like so. So I guess what we need is also a tangent constraint between this edge and this edge, I think. Let's see, tangent between this and this. Okay, now we're fully constrained. Now, this arc is fully constrained, but it's not enclosed, so let's just quickly close it off. I'm just going to draw a line again. Let's just draw it to the center. Go down, and then touching this point. Let's just, for completeness sake, let's dimension one of, or let's make this coincident to this axis. Now the sketch is fully defined. We're done with that. I'm going to do an extrude, and I'm going to use 2 geometry so that we get the exact width as the rib that we created. And that's done. So that's that. So now I need to, the last part is I need to create a hole over here. I'm going to use the hole tool from Alibre. We can also do, you know, manual extrudes if we want to, but the hole tool seems to be easier because it comes with the counter bore parameters built in. I'm going to click on the face that I want to put a hole into. And from the drawing, it says we want to do, the diameter of the hole is 13, and then the counter bore is, the width of the top is 20, and it goes down by 5 millimeters, which is fine. And then it says through all, so in the depth condition, we can just do through all. And let's just place that over here. It's not aligned currently, but that's fine. Because once you create the hole, what I've noticed is that it then creates an associated sketch. I can go in and edit that sketch. In order to align it, we want to align it to the circular part of this geometry. So in order to do that, we need to project it so we can reference it. So here, this little star is where the hole is. All we need to do is make this coincident with the center, and now our hole should be right in the middle, and it is. And that's pretty much it for this piece. So now we can use the circular pattern and select the hole and the 2 extrusions that we did. We want total of 3 instances of it, and oops, I guess this is off screen. Yeah, yeah, so again, we want to do a circular pattern. We want to select the whole feature, the 2 extrusions, and then we want a total of 3 instances in the center. We want to revolve it around the center of the piece, this I guess this y-axis. So clicking on that, and that creates our two other pieces. 2 more things to do. I need to create a hole through this entire object, and then also a cut through the front. Let's do the harder pieces, the cut through the front. It just needs to cut through everything to the height of this entire part. So in order to do that, in order to get that starting position, I'm going to create a plane, and this plane is going to be tangent to this edge, or sorry, this face, and the existing plane that I'm going to reference is this ZY plane. So that just created this new plane over here, and I'll click apply, close. I'll create a sketch on this plane, and really all I need to reference is this bottom and top geometry to get the height. So I'm going to project the bottom geometry and the top geometry, create reference figure, maintain association. And then now all I'm going to do is just draw a box from the top to the bottom and dimension it. So again, I'm going to use the symmetry constraint along the y-axis for these 2 edges. So they're right in the center. And then I'm going to add a dimension. The width of this is 8. And the sketch is fully defined. I'm going to deactivate the sketch now. And now I can just do an extrude cut. And this extrude cut, I'm going to do 2 geometry again, and I'm going to use the ZY plane just right through the center. And that gives me my cut. In hindsight, now I'm thinking about it, maybe I should have done the hole first and then do the cut. But we can reorganize that in the history. But yeah, let's just do that. So there's that cut. Actually, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to roll back this cut, and I'm going to actually make this hole first. So to make the hole from the top, let's look at the diagram again. It says the diameter of the hole is 33 and through all, so I'll just do that. I created the sketch on that top face, create a circle, dimension it to 33 diameter, deactivate the sketch, and do a extrude cut, and type is through all. So that's done, and then now with the power of Alibre, I guess the history, I can just generate the last feature, and that should give me my part. Oh, I guess there's one last piece that we need to do is add these fillets, which I forgot, is add these fillets along these edges over here, which I'll do right now. So using the fillet, I am going to select these edges over here, all along. And I guess maybe I could have filleted and then mirrored. I don't know. Or filleted and then pattern. Saves me a little bit of cutting. But that's fine. And it says the fillet is of radius 20. Apply that. And I think that is our completed part. Now to check the work, of course, is to select the material. And it says the material is the plain carbon steel, which I've already created. So select material library, plain carbon steel, apply, and then in order to check, we go to inspect and go physical properties, do a calculation. Calculation says the mass is 5.084 kilograms, which in grams would be, you multiply this by 1,000, so 5,084.1 gram, which I believe, is it this one? Where's the solution again? Solution. Let's see. Let me play this. Yeah, 5,084 grams. And that's it. That's the part.